Looking up at the two imposing figures on the vines, instructor Lu Tianrong breaks into a cold sweat, realizing that the masked man is incredibly powerful and that their situation has become extremely dangerous. He quickly turns to the group and orders them to evacuate immediately, stating that he will stay behind to hold off the two enemies. Taking the lead, Lin Zichen shouts for everyone to follow him, and the entire team sprints away in a desperate attempt to escape the trap. However, the man with the red-horned mask watches them flee with a mocking smile. With a simple gesture of his finger, he summons massive, dark purple thorny vines that rapidly shoot out from the surrounding structure. The sharp vines violently pursue the running students, quickly closing the distance from all sides. Before she can react, Shangguan Yueying is caught by the thick vines, hoisted upside down, and cries out for help as she is tightly wrapped. Moments later, Ma Weiwei and Luo Yongjian are also ensnared by the thorny vines, both shouting desperately for the instructor to save them as they are dragged into the air. Instructor Lu Tianrong stands on the ground, surrounded by the massive vines holding his trapped students, and realizes that they are in a hopeless defensive position. Concluding that the only way to free everyone is to eliminate the enemy controlling the trap, the instructor undergoes a powerful transformation, turning into a massive, muscular tiger beast. Using his enhanced beastly strength, instructor Lu Tianrong leaps high into the air, aggressively scaling the thorny vines to launch a direct attack on the man with the red-horned mask. Despite the imposing charge, the masked man simply smiles sinisterly and raises his hand to easily counter the attack, mockingly noting that the instructor's power is no match for him on his own home ground. Instructor Lu Tianrong, fully transformed into a tiger beast, clashes fiercely against the dense thicket of dark thorny vines, growing frustrated as he struggles to break through the massive trap. Determined to overcome the obstacle, he fully activates his beast genes, causing his body to surge with a blazing, fiery aura that drastically enhances his raw strength. Empowered by this new energy, the instructor violently tears through the barrier, slicing the thick vines to pieces as he descends to attack the masked enemy below. Meanwhile, Shen Qinghan looks up in shock as she watches Luo Yongjian and her other teammates being overwhelmed by the thorns, urgently shouting for everyone to retreat immediately. Springing into action to cover their escape, Lin Zichen leaps into the air and delivers a powerful punch, shattering a barrage of incoming vines. Caught in the chaos, Ma Weiwei is tightly bound by the sharp thorns, desperately calling out for Lin Zichen to save her. Hearing her plea, Li Moyu immediately declares that he is coming to help. He fiercely strikes the trapping vines with a heavy wooden club. However, he begins to sweat in frustration when he realizes the incredibly tough thorns refuse to snap even under his full strength. Suddenly, Lin Zichen rushes past him and effortlessly slices the sturdy vines into pieces with a single swift swipe of his bare hand. Moving with incredible speed, Lin Zichen dashes around the battlefield, leaving afterimages as he swiftly cuts through the thick bindings. He manages to liberate Ma Weiwei, Luo Yongjian, Gao Mu, and the rest of the trapped teammates, loudly echoing Shen Qinghan's command for everyone to fall back and retreat quickly. Just as he secures their escape, Lin Zichen is suddenly caught off guard when a strange, glowing pink mist drifts into his nose. Intrigued by the distinct floral scent of the mist, he rushes forward into the forest, following the swirling trail to investigate its mysterious source. As Lin Zichen rushes into the strange pink mist, his system alerts him that he is being exposed to a coma-inducing flower poison, but his innate poison resistance continuously neutralizes the threat without issue. Following the scent, he discovers several unconscious students lying on the ground and spots a shadowy figure standing nearby. Realizing this must be the branch leader of the plant god cult, the mysterious woman notes with surprise that Lin Zichen is completely unaffected by her poison and that he was able to detect her presence. She remarks that it makes sense why the higher-ups were willing to risk this elaborate ambush just to capture someone with his astonishing strength. Without wasting any time on conversation, Lin Zichen explodes forward with incredible speed. The masked woman is completely caught off guard by his sudden charge, and before she can even react, Lin Zichen delivers a devastating punch directly to her face. Standing over his defeated opponent, Lin Zichen absorbs her life essence. His system confirms that he has successfully devoured a large amount of the life source from both the Shadow Knight cat and the Ghost Giant shark, manifesting their spectral forms behind him as his codex progress significantly increases. Meanwhile, back at the main battle, Instructor Lu Tianrong decides to push himself past his limits to defeat his powerful opponent. Roaring with fury, he forcefully overactivates both his four-armed demon ape and saber-toothed tiger genes, his body surging with an explosive, fiery aura. He lunges fiercely at the man with the red-horned mask, who hurriedly raises a defensive barrier, calling the instructor a madman for risking his sanity by overusing his beast genes. Unstoppable, Instructor Lu shatters the barrier and lands a brutal, bloody punch directly on the masked man's chest, sending the villain flying helplessly through the air with tremendous force. Crashing hard into a rocky wall, the battered and bleeding man with the red-horned mask slumps to the ground. Clutching his wounded chest, he realizes how close he came to dying, noting that he only survived the devastating blow because he had previously fused with the resilient life-and-death toad gene. Enraged by the devastating blow, the man decides to take drastic measures. Bleeding heavily from his face, he pulls out a mysterious dark red seed and places it into his mouth. He kneels on the shattered ground and furiously orders his enemy to die as dark energy begins to surge around him. Following his command, a colossal wave of massive dark purple thorny vines violently erupts from the earth, shooting directly toward Instructor Lu Tianrong at incredible speed. Unable to evade the overwhelming barrage, Instructor Lu Tianrong's tiger body is brutally pierced by multiple thick thorns, causing a massive spray of blood as he is skewered in mid-air. Meanwhile, safely away from the main clash, Lin Zichen stands with Shen Qinghan, Ma Weiwei, Li Moyu, and the other students. Lin Zichen feels a moment of relief, noting that the military students carried antidotes which allowed the group to recover from the coma-inducing flower poison, meaning they can now quickly evacuate. Suddenly, Lin Zichen's danger perception activates with an intense warning. He breaks into a cold sweat, looking completely shocked and alarmed as he senses the terrifying aura of the high-level Tier 6 enemy rapidly closing in on their location. Bursting through the forest at blinding speed, the man with the red-horned mask charges directly at the group, now wielding sharp, dark vines that sprout directly from his back. Seeing his furious approach, Lin Zichen realizes with absolute horror that Instructor Lu Tianrong must have been defeated.